My name is Cara O'Doherty, and I'm with Movies Plus magazine and movies.ie, an Irish outlet.
Oh, I love your accent.
I love it.
Thank you. And I really like Australian accents, so.
It's nice to meet you, Cara.
Congratulations on the film. I really, really enjoyed it. It's got the feel of an old style rom-com, but for a new generation, and it feels really relevant to now. Tell me about, what was the draw? What made you decide to take part in it?
I think it's exactly that. I think it's exactly what you said. And I have a younger sister, and I really felt like it's such great representation for her demographic as well, about the trials and tribulations of relationships. Like any good rom-com, it sheds good light on those sort of topics. So I'm excited that it is about to live in the world.
What about you, Geraldine? You got the same kind of feeling about it?
Yeah, I think it just felt like this beautiful mix of paying homage. It feels nostalgic of those classic rom-coms that we know and love, but also it feels so modern and refreshing, and I love the character of Lucy. I think she's really such a bold and inspiring, just wears her heart on her sleeve, is unapologetically herself, and I think that she's a really special character, and I loved and the friendship and the relationship with Nick, and just all of these relationships just felt so truthful and lovely.
And so we've got two Australians playing Americans, filming in Canada. What was that like? And did you guys know each other before you started working on this?
We didn't know each other before. I met Geraldine at the chemistry read in LA, I think sort of quite a number of months prior. And in shooting in Canada was wonderful. My mum's actually from Kitchener, which is sort of a town close to Toronto. So that was really nice. I hadn't spent much time in Toronto. So it's lovely. But you're right, it's so funny, two Australians playing Americans and shooting in Canada was a combination of hilarious things.
I know you're actors and your job is to get the accent right, but because you're both Australian working together, did you ever find yourself falling back into your natural accent, or is that just, you're on set, so you're these characters, so that accent is gone?
I don't know. Did you find that, Dacre? I didn't.
You're great at the accent. I really feel like I find it really hard to improvise in the accent, which I think Geraldine is fantastic at, just thinking on her feet and staying in that accent world. But I didn't really feel like there was that much. I wasn't thinking about it too much on set.
Yeah, I think more in between takes would be like, great take, mate. Like, we live these two realities.
Totally.
And on the improv front, Geraldine, you have a lot of experience in the comedy world. But Dacre, I know you have done other things as well, but coming from Stranger Things to this, was it daunting? Was it an entirely different ball game for you?
Extremely daunting, entirely different ball game, but so much learning. And I think just trying to act like a sponge every day on set and soak up all that amazing, genius, creative energy from Geraldine and Natalie and many, many other cast members and crew was just is always my sort of any effort for me, or any goal is just always to do that. And I think it was actually lovely coming off Stranger Things and having the word of the year, as my parents say, pivoting into a different direction. Was actually really nice.
I like that, pivoting. It's a good description. Right, okay. I have to make a complete confession. I have a problem with collecting things. Some might say
I love your sconce
hoarder
on the wall. I love the sconce up on the wall.
See, collecting things.
I love it.
And I know that it's very important in this film that we do not say the H word. Personally, I don't like hoarder, but it could be said of me. So I'm just wondering, do you guys collect anything?
All the things. I collect, I have like every birthday card ever written to me, every letter. I'll keep ticket stubs, and I have a lot of shoeboxes under my bed of just mementos of good times. So I think we all do. I think Lucy just takes it to the extreme, and I don't know what level you're taking it to, but it's,
We won't talk about that. And what about you, Dacre?
when I was younger, I had big, like you should see my room is so much stuff. But randomly from the time I was about 9 to 15, I collected San Pellegrino bottles. So I had like thousands of Kinotto bottles and Aranciata and like the sparkling water. And then I had the big float bottles of the sparkling water with like the wooden cases, like the 100-year anniversary ones. And I remember when I was a kid, it was my thing. I think now it's going to sound cliche, but all I collect is like emotional baggage and life experience. So yeah, but when I was younger, it definitely manifested in stuff. And I used to go to my grandparents and get all of their old books that they'd had since the 1920s, 1930s, and just pile them up and roll the pages and smell like the oxidizing like paper, you know. And I think that idea of the vintage component was a big thing to me when I was a kid. Get my dad's old clothes and wear them, shirts like this. But yes, not so much anymore. I try to like minimize my space clarity.
The bottles. That's an interesting one.
I
Proves that
know
there's
it is.
something out there for everyone, though, isn't there? One of the things that I love is that obviously it's a love story between Nick and Lucy, but I also think it's a love story to friendship. I mean, Lucy has the two girls. They are just the best trio. Nick has Marcus. Did you feel that as well, that it is as much about friendship as it is about love between a guy and a gal?
They are so instrumental in Lucy's whole journey. And I think that it's so highly relatable. We need those people in our lives that know exactly how to pick you back up when you've fallen down. And I think that was something that I really was in the movie. And then we got so lucky with Molly Gordon and Philippa Sue and Arturo Castro, who played our best friends. I mean, we were just actual friends. It was so fortunate that we didn't have to pretend.
And you guys have so much chemistry on screen, and obviously like part of being an actor is finding that. But did you have a lot of rehearsal time as well, or is that just something that came naturally to you both?
Not really. We didn't have any. Did we, Geraldine? Am I forgetting? Did we?
We had a little. We had like a week where we were kind of reading the script, the scenes together, and got to kind of voice any ideas or concerns or thoughts we had. But I don't know. I think you can't even really rehearse that stuff. I think it just kind of clicked on.
And also I think as well, you're talking about the friend component being like this bedrock, this foundation to most good relationships.
Yeah.
And I think like obviously Geraldine and I just have a very easy, friendly rapport. It's not even like you're replicating. Like we were talking about the accent and coming in and out of it and saying this off camera and stuff. It's kind of easy as well. It's another Australian. So the identity there, I feel like, is inbuilt in terms of having banter, let's say. So I think that aided the sense of both the friendliness and then what became this level of romanticism. And then that play between the two, I think, was what is, and in life, sparks electricity in a relationship. My own relationship, my partner's also my best friend. And I think that's what helps.
And we're living in a crazy time and so many films are going straight streaming or video on demand. How happy are you to get this film into cinemas, to get people out into them to see them again, to see big screen outing?
I'm number one cinema guy. Like I just did a podcast yesterday, a friend's podcast about this, and we spoke for an hour at length about cinema and how streaming's changed the game and how fortunate I feel to have something coming out. And I think also fortunate. So we're also Natalie in particular and Geraldine, the rest of the cast in the film. But it's such an unusual time and it's a time of change. And I don't think it's settled yet in terms of what this new world will look like. But I think there's nothing, you can't match the cinematic experience because it's combined. It's a combined collective experience and all of those smells that you associate. And I just hope that Geraldine and I aren't the last demographic that has a level of sentimentality built into those smells and that combined experience. I really hope.
Cara,
Fingers
thank you.
crossed.
Your time is up for today.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Best of luck with
Thanks,
release.
Cara.
Bye.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye.